Welcome to the Louie Bellina Show. It is Wednesday. Welcome to the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Here's how we do. Here's the blueprint between now and 1 o'clock. Shortly, right about 11:20, Chip Howard of Chip Howard Sports Talk joins me inside the Charles Schwab studio. Chip and I catch up, hang out. Chip Howard is the godfather of sports talk in Bryan College Station. He is the first Monday through Friday, I call it full-time, sports talk show host. Back in the day, let me share a story with you, Ags. Back in the day, Robert Cessna did a Saturday show at another radio station in town, and it was Saturday only. But Chip Howard came over to the Bryan Broadcasting family, and he was like, I want to buy some time, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday, and I want to do a sports talk show. And Bryan Broadcasting was like, cool. And Chip Howard was the first Monday through Friday sports talk every day of the week. And WTAW was 1150 and was politics. So all of a sudden, evening hit, and instead of another political talk show, it was sports talk, Chip Howard Sports Talk. I was his studio producer, board op dude from the first show and for many, many moons. And then Chip ran out of people to host and looked at me and said, you want to try? And I was like, sure, I'm bored. I'll give it a shot. And it was during like Christmas holidays one year. And that's how I discovered the day what I really wanted to do in radio. My radio path and career myself, man, I did it all. I was FM DJ, producer for a top 20 countdown show, PSA manager, got fired for cursing on air. I got a long history. But I hosted a sports talk show and went, this is fun. This is crazy cool. So Chip Howard, 1120, will join me inside this is the Charles Schwab studio where it's dry. At 11:35, a listen-in. We'll start with Michael Earley after the 14-1 run rule destruction of Stephen F. Austin, a Stephen F. Austin team that was playing really well coming into it. It was the final tune-up before Friday, Norman, Oklahoma, SEC play begins. One heck of a tune-up. So Michael Earley, a listen-in, followed by Rashawn Agee, a listen-in, as tomorrow night, 8:30, approximately, the Aggies will open SEC tournament play. Matter of fact, SEC tournament play actually begins today, but the Aggies earned that bye as the 6th seed. So Rashawn Agee, a listen-in. Then, the lunch hour. Thank you, Rudy's Barbecue. Lunchtime, Monday through Friday, noon till 1, is thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. Tony Catalina of the Austin American-Statesman. That's straight up noon. And then 12:35 on the D4 Land Services Hotline, Bubba Bush of BV MMA and Fitness. Fighting Texas Aggie, Bubba Bush. He was a champion in the Legacy Fight promotion, which at the time was the number 2 right behind the UFC. And Bubba did fight in the UFC also. He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of our community. Bubba Bush of BVMA and Fitness, 12:35 on the D4 Land Services Hotline. There's more, which you're like, that's not possible, Lou. There cannot be more. That's too much already. No. There's more. You can text me at any time, 979-693-1150. Light up the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. And I mentioned this, but you're busy. You can't remember everything. Hell, I can't remember everything. I will open the ticket booth thanks to Dixie Tire Company. Someone's going to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue because the ticket booth is open thanks to Dixie Tire Company. Now, you tell me, pretty rock and roll Wednesday? Who's with me? We'll begin our day, of course, maroon and white notebook. A couple of quick observations, notes, things that caught my attention. Aggie Baseball last night, already mentioned. Final tune-up before SEC play begins on Friday in Norman, Oklahoma. They didn't just take care of Stephen F. Austin. They destroyed Stephen F. Austin 14-1, 3 in the first, 10 in the sixth. Because through 5, it's a 4-1 game. Gavin Lyons got the start, went 4 2/3, kind of feel for him. Couldn't get that last out so he could qualify for the dub. Ethan Darden in relief got the win. Matter of fact, I would like to credit the entire bullpen, who ended up, the bullpen goes 2 1/3 of nothing. A total of 1 walk, not a single hit. They strike out 2. Great bullpen night. Darden to Vargas to Freshcorn, dominant. Lyons goes 4 2/3, does give up a run, out short of getting the win himself. But it's 4-1. Again, end of 5. But a 10-run sixth. It got medieval. 14-1, Aggies run rule. And I credit the bullpen. The bottom of the Aggie batting order. Partita goes 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Blake Binderup is on this home run tear. He hits 2 more bombs in a game, and he's 2 for 4, 4 RBIs. Bear Harrison, 2 for 3 with a ribeye. He hits a shot in the game too. So the bottom of the order lights out, pacing the way. And the Aggies, what did I say? I want to see. It's another Tuesday night, another midweek. And in the final before SEC play begins, home run derby, pitching continues to dominate. Check. It was exactly and everything. It was perfect. Oh, they didn't throw a no-hitter. Get out of here. Walk away. It was exactly what you wanted to see in the midweek. Great game. And the Aggies will be 15-1 heading to Oklahoma, Norman to be specific, to open up against 9 in the country because they were 9 in the athletic top 25, 9 in the D1 top 25. A&M's 22-22. So number 9, number 22. Credit to Ryan Broninger, who on Twitter X released a little, these are the kind of things I love to see stat-wise. He mentioned solid start, especially considering injuries, and these are the stats, what I'm talking about. So far in A&M's 15-1 start, combined record of opponents played is 79-73. And we know that their opponents, not many will be seeing in the tournament again, but still. Here's the combined record of the upcoming opponents, and that includes the entirety of SEC play. Some toughies in the midweek, too. The midweek gets tougher. SEC play speaks for itself. But the combined record of their upcoming opponents is 271. So they got like 34 games left, playing like 16 at 15-1, and 73 losses so far for their 16 games played, combined opponents, right? 71 over the 34 opponents they played. You get the point though, right? Combined record of their upcoming opponents, 200 versus 71. We all knew it. I just like seeing it that way. Ryan Broninger put that out on his Twitter X, part of that Texags team covering Aggie Baseball with Richard Zane. Baseball Bunch every Friday on Texags Live. Scott joins Bronny and Richard Zane talking Aggie Baseball. Great stuff, of course. Combined record of opponents played, 79-73. Combined record of upcoming opponents, 271. You will hear, like you have all season long so far and all season ahead of us, Aggie Baseball here on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. You, of course, can listen on the free Zone app. Download it everywhere you get your apps. You can listen at radioaggieland.com, and you can tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. There's one weekend of the year, and it's every year, that Aggie Baseball's on WTAW. News Talk 1620, 94.5 WTAW. It's part of our March Madness from Westwood won. And I think it's the Sweet 16 Elite 8 weekend where we put that series. You'll hear that series on News Talk 1620, 94.5 WTAW, the only weekend of the year that Aggie Baseball's not on the zone. So anyway, Maroon and White Notebook, Aggie Basketball. They're in Nashville. The tournament starts today. Actually, yes, it all starts today. At 10:30 a.m., that's a lie, Lou, 11:30 a.m. Central Texas American God Country Louie Bellina time, Kentucky LSU, following Mississippi State Auburn, evening session Ole Miss Texas, go Rebels. And then the night session, about 8:30, probably closer to 9 if you ask me, South Carolina, Oklahoma. That's the game to circle and watch if you're an Aggie Hoops fan, because A&M Thursday, tomorrow night, 8:30, probably closer to 8:50, we'll play the winner of South Carolina and Oklahoma, A&M being the 6th seed. Now, the winner Thursday night will advance to Friday night, right about 8:50 again, to take on number 3, Arkansas. The bottom half of this bracket, 2, Bama, 3, Arkansas. Man, A&M would have to beat Arkansas, who they lost to convincingly, to take on Bama, and it was one of the best games of the year. Aggies came out on the wrong side, but still one of the best games of the year. Taking a look, Aggie Basketball. Yesterday, got one of those emails, phone goes ding, came from Athletic Communications. But A&M Men's Basketball will host a Selection Sunday watch party on Sunday, March 15th, because it wouldn't be Selection Sunday, right? And it's at the Green at Century Square. It's free and it's open to the public. The Texas A&M men's basketball team will host a Selection Sunday watch party on March 15th at the Green at Century Square. They'll be awaiting, of course, the NCAA tournament announcement. And the way it works, fans are encouraged to join the Aggies at the event beginning at 3:30 p.m. There's going to be yard games, face painting, and gear for purchase. The selection show begins exactly at 5. And again, the watch party is open to the public. There's no cost for admission. Open to the public, no cost for admission. And in the release, it was made clear, of course, this event's happening, rain or shine. There is one exception where there'll be no event. If Buckyball is in the SEC Tournament Championship game on Sunday in Nashville, there's no watch party. The team won't be back in time. So, if you would like to spend Selection Sunday with Bucky and the team, watch party, Century Square, 3:30 it begins, 5 o'clock is the Selection Sunday show. No cost for admission, free to the public. Make your plans. Now, real quick, I want to update the bracketology, and it was as of like late last night, like midnight maybe 11 o'clock last night. If you updated it as of this morning, no games I know of ended after midnight, so I don't expect a dramatic change. Top overall seed, Duke. Last team in, Indiana. First team out, and it breaks my heart. You know, you have a coach who sabotages his entire team season because he wants to make sure his son is named the head coach. So he waits and waits and waits and waits. And then, well, because you might be like, Lou, that's a dad taking care of his son. And until you have a son of your own, you don't understand. That was beautiful, man. What about all the kids that got screwed over? What about all the kids that had their options ripped away from them? Yes, I'm talking about Auburn, where Bruce Pearl last week was going on talk shows and stuff and kind of bragging and admitting, yeah, I waited. I made sure they had no choice. I was making sure my boy had a job. And all those players had no choice. Too late. I think I've kind of been clear on how I feel about that. Not fair. Wrong. And man, has that went well. Auburn is the first team out. Again, just breaks my heart. In the bracketology, as of like midnight last night, A&M still on the 9 line. They play UCLA on the 8 line. A new number 1 I think they're paired with is Arizona. Is that just Pac-12, Pac-12? I know UCLA, former Pac-12. I know they're Big Ten currently. And isn't Arizona former Pac-12? So A&M would play the entirety their NCAA tournament against former Pac-12 schools, but actually is Big Ten, Big 12 now. Taking a look bracketology as of late last night, last 4 byes, good side of the bubble, NC State, Texas, the number 2 team, Santa Clara, Missouri, the last team on the last 4 byes. Now, last 4 in, I call it the scary side of the bubble. UCF, Aggies played them and lost to them. SMU, SMU, VCU, Indiana. First 4 out, dark side of the bubble. Auburn, oh man. New Mexico, Stanford, Va-Tech. And then the next 4 out, I think that it's the darkest side of the bubble because you have hope, but you don't. It's great to be mentioned, but it's not. Dagger than twist. Next 4 out, Cincinnati, San Diego State. There's OU. And that tells OU, okay, we got to crawl over 6 teams. If we win 8 games in Nashville, which means just if you win the tournament, which is the auto bid anyway, so there you go. And California. That is your updated bracketology. I got one last Aggie basketball note for you. It has nothing to do with Buckyball, this year's team, but Anderson Garcia, one of the funnest Aggies of all time to watch play A&M basketball, got a 10-day contract from the Utah Jazz. In the G League, the Mexico City Capitanes, I hope I said that right, but I doubt it. He's been crushing it, along with Wade Taylor on that team. Got the 10-day deal from Utah. Congrats, man. When we return, Chip Howard of Chip Howard Sports Talk joins me inside the Charles Schwab studio. This is the Louie Bellina Show, just beginning on a Monday on the Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Don't ask unless you want the truth, because
you can't handle the truth.
Weekdays, 11 to 2 on the Zone.
You know, before all the CSI shows took Baba O'Reilly as their theme songs, this was the Chip Howard Sports Talk theme song.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
You were smashing guitars way before the hood.
Well, that part's true.
Joining me now inside the Charles Schwab studio, Chip Howard of Chip Howard Sports Talk. Chip, you're a college basketball aficionado.
I am.
Long time.
Yep.
You were watching college basketball back when football season was going on.
That's true.
Which is wrong, but it's your choice. That's the beautiful thing about America.
Thanksgiving weekend used to be all about college football for years. Now it's college basketball. You can see every good team in America in about 3 days because they're all playing at these tournaments.
You know you can't because it's rivalry weekend, and there's college football on starting Thanksgiving night.
Nah.
So it's impossible to watch college basketball.
No, it's not, because I did it.
Yes, you did, Chip. Yes, you did. Put a bow on the Bucky regular season.
Look, we're talking back when Bucky got the job all the way into frankly, December, close to December. It's like, I don't know, I got him at eight or 9 wins. And I'm not talking about conference wins. I'm talking about 8 or 9 wins for the season. You know what I'm saying? And then as it began to play out, 13. Yeah, as it began to play out, it's like, wow, they're going to exceed that. And they kept going. Remarkable season. I just don't think you can say enough good things about it. Plus, it's a really entertaining style of basketball, and you can't ask for much more than that. And a lot was said a year ago, and rightly so, for some of the older guys that Buzz had, and how they conducted themselves and how they played hard, and it wasn't always the prettiest, but they played hard. Man, this team's been unbelievable, and we talk about the depth, but in this last triple overtime game, you had 4 guys played over 40 minutes, right? And they couldn't even stand up at the end. But they did. It wasn't pretty, and it hasn't always been pretty. but they've found a way to get into the NCAA tournament. I think that's really fun, and at least in that first round game, no matter where they send them, I don't think you'd want a team to want to play against that kind of style, right? I don't. And what's going to be interesting, can he force that style on other teams, right? Because for the most part, he's been able to do that, but in some of the games he hasn't, right? The other team has been able to impose their will, and that's what the tournament's all about, right? I mean, if Bucking scored 90 in a tournament game, he's going to win, right? Probably 7 out of 10 times.
NCAA tournament is about styles. And it's all matchups.
It's mostly basket
until
for basket.
Until you get to the second weekend.
Right.
It's all styles.
Right.
Even in the Sweet 16, styles still actually dominate.
Yeah.
And that's why it's always
the
chalky
problem
at the
is
end.
the 8-9 seed. You hate that 8-9 seed because you have to play the number 1 seed right in the second game.
And that's where the chalkiness.
Yeah. And that's where it begins.
They've got the elite guards. They've got a 7-footer.
Sure, they've got everything.
They have all the answers.
Yeah. And so that's hey,
don't worry about that.
Let's not worry about that. Yeah, enjoy this ride. It's been a lot of fun. Surprising.
So do you lobby the committee to make you a 10? You know how most coaches are, we're the best team, we should be and if you're Bucky, you go, I know I'm a 10 seed.
Yeah.
That's what you do all week in
Nashville.
Nashville.
I'd rather be a 10.
By the way, for people listening, that's sarcasm. That's being a smart. We have people sometimes that have trouble chips, so I'm trying to help them.
Believe me, I know.
They're like, Lou's an idiot, and Lou's trying to lobby us for a 10.
I mean,
both things can be true.
Yeah, both can be true.
Both things can be true.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, just I have had so much fun with a year one coach and such a blank slate to be able to watch the whole thing just truly with a 0.0 expectation means everything has just been on its own. This is one of the most fun Aggie basketball seasons I've ever. Look, I remember when they were supposed to go to the Final Four. I remember when we knew they were going to start minimum suite, all those kind of This has been fun. Having 0.0 expectation.
No expectations and a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been great.
This has been a great. March Madness feels like the tournament this year that we got 5 teams and everyone else is so far behind them that we're going to get our
I don't
opening.
think there's 5. I think there's maybe even 8 to 10.
Really, that many?
I think so. There's just so many good young players that can lead a team, right? I mean, all into some great things. So it's been a great year because there's so many good freshmen and so many good players out there. I mean, Duke was very good, and now they've got real serious issues with their point guard out.
Yep.
And now Gungba is also out for the ACC tournament. Not sounding great, maybe even for the first weekend, which they should be fine in the first weekend. But I thought like the top 4, any 4 of those teams could win the national championship. With Duke without the point guard is a little problematic. They have
I took them off my board.
They have great coaching. They're still good, but they're not great good. At least we'll see. I mean, we'll see. But that's a big blow for them. And then Florida's playing great. They're just playing great, and they kicked it in this time a year ago. They have the players. They have the coach. They've been there before. Several of those guys, played in the championship last year, and so they have that experience, which I think is a big deal. I look at them. I think Michigan's really good. I think Arizona's really good. But there's a few more teams. Houston bothers me a little bit because they can't score in the post. They go long stretches without scoring, which in the past wasn't a huge deal when they're holding teams to 40. But this Houston team is not as good as they've had defensively. Those guards out front who are great offensively, they're not nearly as good defensively as what Kelvin Sampson demands.
They give up 50 when they need to give up 42.
And what he's used to. Hey, they've given up 70. They've given up points this year, and that's not Houston, right? And that's not the style he plays. So early on, I thought they could.
Service has issued Tornado Watch number 44, effective until 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This watch includes the following counties in Texas: Austin, Grimes, Walker, Waller, and Washington. Remember, a tornado watch means the conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds, in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA weather radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information.
It's the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, Chip Howard Sports
So before
Talk.
I go, Lou, I did watch all the Stars last night. I watched the Stars game last night. They have a 13-game points streak going. It's the second longest in program history. They got and what made it fun last night is they're playing the Knights, who have kind of the old Dallas Stars, Ken Hitchcock style, right? They're going to grind you. It was a 2-1 game, very entertaining.
All goals in the second period.
Otter was great. I mean, he was just great. He that guy could win a Stanley Cup. But as we've talked about repeatedly, some people are asking for Casey DeSmith down the stretch because he's been more consistent probably than Ottinger. But Ottinger has been in goal 40 games. He's won 30. I don't know how many of those he's tied, but he's won 30 of the 40, 75%. Not terrible. Still, I'm a little shaky because he's not consistent. But again, the guy last night, they could win a Stanley Cup. But am I confident that guy last night will be there all 6 or 7 games?
You're confident he won't.
Yeah.
Over the course of a series, you don't get him 7 games.
Yeah. You're right.
That's true.
No, you're right.
That's a fact.
You're right.
Dallas Stars are within 5 points of the Lanch now because the Lanch finally lost.
Yes.
They're within 5.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 points. I don't know if they catch them, but 5 points. They're playing great. They really are. And they got a couple of upgrades defensively. They got Myers at 6'8", and he takes up a lot of space. A friend of Jamie Ben's, longtime friend, and we'll see. I like this team. I'm just, we all know, if you follow it, a goaltender's like a pitcher. He can stop everything. I'm not overconfident that Jay Ottinger could do that.
What will be the health
Bring me Ed Belfour. I'll win the cup.
Eddie Legal. Look, A, how healthy will be the Stars entering the playoffs?
Yeah.
And B, what do you get in goal? That's it.
Yeah.
That's the whole Stars play. Now, you said before you go. No. Before you go, share about Chip Howard Sports Talk Madness.
Sports Talk Madness.
Wait a minute, is that the name?
Sports Talk Madness.
I thought you had like 8 names in the title.
Starts Monday morning. You can go online Monday morning because Sunday is the selection show. By Monday, the bracket will be up, but you don't pick brackets. You just pick 10 teams. There'll be a slot there on the contest page. You just pick 10 teams. You go, man, that's easy. Anybody can pick 10 teams.
Sports Talk Madness.
Apparently, anybody can't pick the 10 right teams. I'm always amazed. I'm amazed at myself. I follow this stuff. I don't come close every year,
So I pick 10 teams, and what happens?
Well, those 10 teams, you get points for every time those teams advance. You get points, right?
Can I pick the same team 10 times?
Sure.
So
you won't win. You won't win.
Why?
But that's not how the
10
contest is scored. Yeah, 10 different teams.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So
simple.
Monday, where do I go?
As I like to call it, it's a simple contest for simple listeners. ChipHoward.com, go to the contest page. It's just like Friday's Fearless. It's right next to it. And it's self-explanatory.
You still do Friday's Fearless?
I do.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Long time.
Since the late 50s. Yeah.
Sports Talk Madness.
Yep. Starts
Pick
Monday
10
morning.
Teams Monday.
Yep.
What's the prize?
We're still gathering.
I didn't know
all
that
of
was a trick question.
No, it's not a trick question. We're still gathering.
I know it's usually like 50 things.
It's a veritable plethora of prizes.
There's like a stuffed badger, old broken oar.
There's a lot of stuff.
Pizza. Everything.
Yeah, but no trophy. That's only for football. I'm thinking about getting
That's
a trophy.
right. You still do Fridays Fearless.
Thinking about getting a trophy.
Chip, what do you got today?
Steve Denton, men's tennis coach. They're right in the middle of the SEC race right now. Scott Clendenin, and then Mallory for entertainment. So
Talk to you next week.
That's the show. Yep. Thanks,
Later,
Lou.
Chip.
Yep.
When we return, I got that listen in. Michael Earley. I got the listen in. A&M Baseball head coach Michael Earley after the dub last night, plus a bonus listen in with Rashawn Agee. Let's get ready for SEC tournament play. It is the Louie Bellina Show. I'm inside the Charles Schwab studio, Wednesday on The Zone.
Make sure to get the podcast of TexAgs Live, the Louie Bellina Show, or Chip Howard Sports Talk Daily at zone1150.com and everywhere you get your podcasts.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. Tell you what we're going to do. Two things. One, I'm opening the ticket booth right now. You have till 12:30 to text, and everyone that texts is going to be registered. You'll have a chance to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. I mentioned, I don't know, maybe it was Tuesday, maybe it was Monday. Kind of don't write these things down. But I mentioned that the ticket booth will be open every day this week. You know, all the kids are gone, spring break kind of thing, high school, A&M, and more. But hey, don't you deserve a little something for spring break too? Well, every day this week, I'm giving away a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. Sometimes caller 5, sometimes you text to register. Today is that sometimes you text to register. Text 979-693-1150. Questions, comments, or opinions for me or Tony Catalina or whatever's on your mind. 979-693-1150. All Zone, Brian Broadcasting prize eligibility rules, they apply. They always apply. That's not a revelation, really. Maybe you're new to town. Hi, hello, and welcome. Light up the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox. Of course, I'll do a text message sweep, and we just have fun together each day on the Louie Bellina Show. Dixie Tire Company's family owned. Dixie Tire Company is your authorized Mastercraft and Cooper tire dealer. If you need tires for your car, truck, tractor, lawnmower, even a wheelbarrow, if you just need tires, you need to look up Dixie Tire Company. And again, the ticket booth is open now, and it will close at 12:30. You want a $50 gift card to Dixie Tire Company? Text now. We'll begin our first listen in. Michael Earley, A&M Baseball head coach. This is what he had to say after the 14-1 dismantling, the victory over SFA.
Coach, Blake Benderup continues to be on a tear. What has he done to stay locked in and come through when he gets his opportunities?
I think the thing about him that's been so impressive this whole year is he's never stopped working. Like you can make a choice when you're not in there. You stay ready or don't, and he hasn't done that at all. He's been a great teammate, great dude. I think we've all seen Blake in the past have success, so it's no surprise. But I think just him being a year older and another year into it, and the work he's put in is the reason he's having success.
New home run song. What went into that decision?
I had no idea. Sounded good though. I like hearing it.
Bouncing off Benderup, just seeing Bear Harrison get one over the fence again. Just what did that mean after his struggles at the plate recently?
Yeah, I guess struggles like getting hits, but I think what Bear's done a great job is on base percentage is .500. I know he's got to get hits, and that only lasts so long, at least getting hit by pitches. But it seemed to be a weapon. But it is nice for him, hit that double down the line. He's hit some balls hard over the course of the last week. He's hit some balls really hard, and they're bound to fall. And getting a homer's always nice. It always makes you feel good. Bear's always going to, I won't say always, but right now he's sitting in that 8-hole for us, and any production at the bottom is huge. So those two guys tonight were awesome. And Sawyer swung the bat well. He just lined right into a guy. So those guys at the bottom really did a nice job. Bear was a big part of it.
9 of your 10 runs of that sixth inning came with 2 outs. Just what'd you like about the way you guys were able to pass the bat?
Was it?
Nine runs with 2 outs.
Really?
And the first run scored on TK's ground up with the second out.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. It all kind of happened pretty fast. Keep playing pitch to pitch, every out, every pitch. That's the definition of it right there. So I'm not sure how I missed that one. But yeah, awesome inning. It just seems like, you can never get bored with controlling the strike zone, right? And they were laying off some pitches that they didn't like, and they're getting them over the middle of the plate. And then the other part is putting a good swing on it. So great job.
Whereas sometimes midweek games can catch teams at a tough time. You guys have been pretty successful in these midweeks so far. Just what have you liked about the way your team have been locked in some of these matchups?
Yeah, my message in before the game was like, we can't. You can never look ahead, right? But I thought last week, I don't want to say we were just we were fine, right? Like it was just fine. Like we did what we had to do, and the message today was just like, hey, like we're just preparing for the rest of the year. Like let's get better today. Let's be freaking in and interested in every single pitch the entire game, and they did that. It's not my words; it's doing it, right? Like that's overkill if you think that's the case. I think it's just a credit to our leadership in that locker room and those guys, and they know what's around the corner, and so we want to come out tonight and leave here with a good taste in our mouth, and those guys have just been awesome all year.
To that point, you talk about checkpoints in seasons. Now that non-con's over, going into conference play, where are you at mentally with this team? Did you see everything you wanted to see in this part of the schedule?
Excuse me. I mean, if you look at just pure record, I mean, you always say I don't know what we are, 14-1 or 15-1. Like that's great, right? I would rather be 16-0, but we're not. But I think we've handled what we need to handle, and we've had some adversity in there, and we responded to it. And a lot of that adversity, we found a way to win the game. So yeah, I mean, we've thrown a lot of strikes. We're hitting the ball well as a team. We're getting on base as a team. To this point, we have more walks and hit by pitches and strikeouts. We're hitting well with guys in scoring position. We have a high team on base. We're not walking guys on the mound. We're making plays in the field. So yeah, to this point, is it without any lulls? Of course not. Like this is a hard game. That's always going to happen. But it's just always been the response and the comeback after it. To me, is what makes me feel good. I mean, we feel good. We're ready to go. We're excited. I've never been to Oklahoma, so it'll be good.
I know you said you didn't know about the song changing, but when did you realize that it wasn't the Rattling Bog that was playing?
Honestly, till you just said it, man, I just I don't notice the songs. Unless I got a really good walk-up song, I don't really notice it. But I heard it, but I just didn't put it together that it wasn't the Rattling Bog.
That is Michael Earley, A&M Baseball head coach, after the dub over Stephen F. Austin. If you get the Zone newsletter, you know this is about to come up. If you're with me at 11 o'clock when we crank things up, you knew this is coming up. I have a bonus listen in. I think we're all fired up for Bucky Ball, NCAA tournament, and more. Rashawn Agee, third team All-SEC. I think he should be second team myself personally. 12 double-doubles. Just what an incredible season. Warrior. That's the title I would put on him. He also spoke at Media Day, and I wanted to listen into what he had to say.
Rashawn, third team All-SEC, just what that honor mean to you, and just, as the guy who's kind of been the leader of this team this season?
I mean, it's always great to get recognized for having a great season, for your team having a great season. I feel like being in that means your team did great, and you did what you're supposed to do as a leader of the team and as a player.
Rashawn, I'm curious about it. You're a guy from Chicago that's played a lot of places. Now you're at A&M. First of all, I wonder what you knew about A&M before you came here. And then I'm looking up at you saw him the horns off and things like that the other night. Could you have envisioned even any of this, say, a year ago?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I told my family, like, when I first got into basketball, my dream school was always SC. But man, this is a wonderful university. I love being here. I love being a part of this. Just seeing this atmosphere and being able to be a part of this is always it was great. And I'm grateful for this opportunity.
When you talked to Marcus Hill and you talked to Bucky and you started the recruitment process and they told you this is what we had plans for, and obviously there's a lot to play for, but did you expect it to be this and it to look like this for you?
Absolutely. I would say you always strive for the highest of the highs. You never think too low of yourself. You always want to go for the utmost, and then set the bar, and whatever happens under or above you always just be grateful for it.
Well, since you're striving for the highest of the highs, I wonder how important y'all view this SEC tournament, knowing that you're the bigger tournament is that after the next weekend you're already in it.
To win. You should always want to win. I mean, I feel like any athlete, you should want to go in and try to win. I wouldn't tell my teammates, we're going to go in here just to play one game. Nah, we trying to win everything.
to that point, to win the whole thing would take winning 4 games in 4 days. Just how do you kind of approach that from a mental, physical standpoint, knowing the caliber of talent you'd have to go through to do that?
We got to go in and do our job. Understanding that, winning 4 games in 4 days is tough, but, if we do what we're supposed to do and we don't go into a triple overtime, we'll be all right.
Yeah, how are you feeling on Sunday after that game?
I feel good. I'm always ready to play another game if I got to.
From your teammates' perspective, why do you think Rylan is on such a heater now? Back-to-back career highs.
Focus level, understanding each game matters, understanding that, it's this time of the year that we got to prepare ourselves for a lot of things that's going on next.
And when you look at March, right, and you can answer yourself here, but this is the time where legends in college basketball start to get made. When you look at your team, anybody that stands out to you and say his game and the way he plays is built for this moment?
I feel like you just never know with this team. Anybody can come and spark a run for us at any given day, even at any given game. So I feel like just be prepared for anything to happen.
It seems like the last couple of games y'all really increased the amount of turnovers that y'all forced. Just what have you seen maybe from some of the things y'all been able to hone in on with the defense and the press that's maybe allowed for that?
I feel like we're playing extremely, extremely hard. We're playing harder than we was playing in the middle pack of the year, and we're getting back to the start of the SEC season. Once we started off that SEC play, I feel like we played this way. We played like our type of basketball.
What excites you most about this week in the tournament?
Just being able to compete in the SEC tournament. You don't get these things to happen often. I'm only gonna get to do this one time, so just that.
Is there any teams or any players you want to see down the line?
Nah, I just want to win.
What does it mean to you that you came here with the goal of making the tournament for the first time in your career, and it was pretty clear that with the LSU win, everybody knew what that meant, that you get to now play in March Madness? What have the last couple of days been like for you, knowing that dream is one step closer to being achieved?
Just happy, understanding that now that we have made it, now we got to win games. I'm always, thinking of the highs, but always being grateful for the opportunity. So being grateful for that, but understanding that, I just don't want to appear in the tournament. I want to win games in the tournament.
For a guy that grew up outside the SEC footprint, did you ever imagine SEC basketball being like it is, and what has it been like to see from afar and now be a part of that sort of growth of the league?
It's been great, to be honest. I wasn't really a big basketball guy, growing up, so I didn't know much about, SEC basketball or even basketball period. My family kind of knows all the ins and outs, my uncles, my older brother, and it's been great, to be honest, just to be able to say, man, I played in the SEC.
11-7 in SEC play, tied for fourth. Just as you look back, start to finish, and just kind of the things y'all had to overcome, what's maybe been the key thread or the key factor that allowed y'all to have that success throughout the entire conference slate?
How hard we play. No matter the ups and downs of, wins or losses, staying even and continue to just be us and play hard. I feel like I stress that a lot to my teammates. Don't allow, wins or losses or emotions to dictate how hard you play basketball and the love for the game of basketball.
What kind of separates A&M from other teams in the SEC tournament?
We play hard. We get up and down, and I know the way we play, people may say, we may not be able to do this back-to-back days, but I feel like, the team is going to be so in the unexpected, playing a different team. You never know, they may go into overtime, and then they got to come play us, and play the way we play.
Rashawn Agee, listening because he is awesome. Who would not want to listen into him? Before that, Michael Earley after the dub over Stephen F. Austin. When we return, we're going to enter the lifestyles portion. I saw something that, spoke to my heart. And I don't mean in a weepy, let's hug kind of way either. This is the Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. CC Electric. They do free estimates. They have military and veteran discounts. They are CC Electric. This is the Louie Bellina Show Wednesday. It's on the Zone, of course.
Your home for Aggie Baseball is the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.